Hello guys, October 10th is your prelims date and we have been making these videos just to answer the queries which are asked by multiple people. So already you would have seen in the morning I had put out the CSAT video because last year what happened is many students, they could clear the morning paper but they unfortunately could not clear the CSAT paper. That is why we also decided to put out the CSAT previous year MCQ series and all. It's already going on. 10 episodes are out. I think 11 or 12 episodes. I mean, 2 more episodes will come because only 2 more days are left. So till October 9th that will continue. And then if you watch that all episodes, at least the mathematics part and quantitative parts, everything you will be thorough and you can go and solve that part. Okay, comprehension, let me see if I have time, we'll do one video. Else already the tips to note or expect what will come on CSAT paper I have already discussed in this video. Please watch this video. Okay, so now we'll discuss about the GS paper, which is the most important paper. Okay, 3-4 videos I'm planning in this series, but now let's start with this. So first thing is, don't expect anything. Don't expect anything on October 10. This exam, like everybody tells, it's like many people are preparing and many strategies are there, many coaching institutes are there, everybody has their own ideology about this exam, everything is there. So please don't expect. And the pattern also, since 2017 I will tell, it has been very unpredictable. Okay, before that also people used to tell it is tough and all, but up till 2016, if you take right the question paper, if you go and take it now, you will understand that questions were coming from textbooks. Okay, like if you take NCRT or GC Leong or Spectrum or NCRT history, RS Sharma, it is directly coming from the textbook. So if you had prepared thoroughly, like you prepare for any other competitive exam, there was still a chance that you could get more marks. And that is why that time cutoff was around 105, 110, 120, because people used to score like that. But now 2017 onwards, if you see, it is a drastic decline of cutoff. Okay, like it is going down like 98 it was. Okay, last continuous 2 years it was 98. Okay, 2019 and 2018 I think it was 98, and now 2020 it has come to 92 for general category. So you can imagine it is actually becoming tougher. Okay, so now first thing is, don't expect anything, and then you have to stay away from negative people. Everybody will tell. One more thing I'll tell you, stay away from this over positive people also. There are many people who are around you who will keep telling like, yours anyway you are going to clear, it is nothing, prelims is nothing to worry. It's like that they'll simply over tempt you, over, like, I don't know why they are doing that, but they keep telling you, maybe they're trying to give you hope. Okay, but that is actually wrong. Please stay away from such people also who are too much positive, because this exam you have to take it like any other exam, maybe your 10th board exam or 12th board exam. You have to go in that attitude that I have prepared a full year, now questions will come, I will go and answer because I have studied it. You have studied the entire year from all the possible sources, from all the possible mentors. You have done that. So you stop listening to people around you, keep a cool head, and then just go and give that attempt. Okay, because if you deserve to clear, if you have done all the hard work, you are going to clear it. And if you don't clear it also, there are 1,000 other options. Okay, you don't have to worry about that. Keep a cool mind, and I am telling you, you will clear. Okay, and how will you will clear, that we'll discuss in this video, like how to use that 2 hours in the exam hall, how to reach that cutoff. For that only this series of videos I'm planning. Okay, this is the first part 1 of that. So first, we'll go through 2020, what happened. 2020 prelims, you know, it happened on October 4. Okay, October 4, 2020. So UPSC kept the unpredictability alive. Okay, whatever everybody expected, we also thought like, okay, question because 18-19 was tough, 20 is also going to be tough. But actually it was actually a little bit easier, I felt, compared to 2018-19, because 18 was a very disaster kind of paper. Okay, because the way they picked up questions and they asked a lot of unwanted things. Okay, like even changing the surname of a Viceroy General, I forgot the name, somebody. Okay, Wellesley, Richard Wellesley or some Arthur Wellesley, something, surname of the person they changed and they made a question. Okay, so like that it was a disaster paper. Okay, so as I told, it's in fact easier than 2018. Now, analytical and lengthy. This is the thing people tell. Like people, like, I didn't have time. Last minute, the examiner snatched the paper from my hand. So this will happen because the paper, they are not designing for you to attempt all the 100 questions. They want you to be the best person who knows which one to skip. Okay, there will be at least 15 to 20 questions which you have to skip. Okay, so that also in multiple elimination videos and all I have told already, but again in the coming series I'll tell you, okay, how to identify that questions to skip. Okay, then topics wise, if you tell, old current affair, we kept on stressing. That is why right from 2016 I have material with me and we keep giving it to people because we are expecting questions to come from the last 3-4 years. Okay, it need not be like this year what happened they will ask, because it is not coming. Last year also I'll tell you, like if you see 2015 to 18, whatever events happened, okay, people all prepared for 2018, 19, 20, but UPSC decided to ask a lot of other things, like a Google Doodle about this person came, and then WTI crude oil price going up and down, that was there, then pro nuclear transfer, anything which happened in 2016, 17, 18 and all, that thing was stressed done, asked a question. Okay, and whatever if you see 2019, 20, whatever the coaching institute predicted, that did not come. Okay, so from our test who have done, they have benefited. Okay, because both the old current affairs and new current affairs UPSC asked questions from. And now if you take the topics, okay, popular topics like GI tags, tribes, these are all like repeated every time. But 2020, nothing came. Okay, 1920, there were a lot of anniversary events like Jallianwala Bagh event or anything which happened in 1919 or 1920. Those nothing was asked till now. Okay, maybe this year they'll ask. This year 21 exam, there's Mopla rebellion is there, which is completing 100 years, or maybe the Jallianwala Bagh, which completed 100 years 2 years back. This and all, maybe this year they'll ask. Okay, last year history was a disaster actually. Okay, economics polity was very easy because they asked very easy things. Easy things means which anybody will generally know in the news. Like if you tell demonetization, everybody in the country knows. So that kind of topics they asked on economic. And polity, it was from the first few chapters only: fundamental rights, fundamental duties, this preamble, DPSP. They did not ask about money bill or any of these things. But this year maybe they'll ask that. Okay, so that is what I'm telling you, should never expect, because whatever you expect, the opposite of that is going to come. Modern history, as I told, very less questions, so it was a disappointment for people. And ancient and medieval, one Buddhism question will be there always, Buddhism or Jainism, and then some match the following type of question will be there, like some old term they will take and tell, like, okay, these are ancient water models, water saving models, or ancient some port cities, like that. One or two match the following will come. Core geography, it is many years it is being ignored by UPSC. There is no tsunami, there is no cyclone, there is no volcano. Last year one question came, that was on cyclone. Okay, like the basic thing only, whatever there is in NCRT, like the center of that will be having low pressure, it will be going up and down the wind. So that basic thing, okay, anti-clockwise or clockwise, that basic, whenever you study a cyclone, what you study first thing, that only they ask. They did not ask into too much detailing. Okay, and as I told, core current affairs of 2019-20 was not asked. They asked older current affair. And agriculture in plenty. Why? Because the forest service people are also writing the same prelims, so they are asking lot of farming, agriculture, urea, nitrogen, vertical farming, then crop rotation, step farming, terrace farming, every kind of farming. One question is coming, not one, actually 2, 3, 4 questions are coming. Okay, they mix it with things, they mix it with economics, they mix it with geography. Like geography also, as I told, instead of core geography, they're asking you resources in the sense anything. It can be like, where are the oil sources, where are the coal beds, where are the steel mines, or like Rajasthan is where the highest amount of copper is there, or somewhere else is the highest amount of lithium. Then India does not have lithium sources, India does not have cadmium sources. So like that, they will put something extreme just to check whether you know at least what all resources are found in India. So if you are a very serious aspirant, if you have done geography textbook or any normal textbooks, in that you would have at least seen one line, like a mention at least, like, okay, here in Meghalaya it is, this thing is there, or oil basins are there here and there. And that, like that, very basic, that if you know, you could have solved that question. Okay, so general understanding is more important than textbook. That is a main important takeaway from this video. Okay, general understanding and observation. International relations, G20 members were asked. Every coaching institute told, like, don't study G20, there are 20 members, UPSC is never going to ask. But they gave you, in the option, they give you 16 countries, like a pair of 4, 4, 4, like 4, 4 in ABCD option, and told, like, which of the following is not a part of it, okay, of G20. So we told you, we kept on telling you, please study. Okay, if there is G77 countries, you don't study, because 77 and all, nobody is going to buy hard. But 20 countries you are expected to study. Same like that now, SDG goals, there are 17 goals, people are telling they will not ask. But if a question comes, don't be surprised, the UPSC can ask up to 20. Any group, any membership, anything has countries or members, please study it. Okay, and again, latest current affair, if you see SCO, that's actually September current affair, so mostly in exam it won't come. SCO, Iran is added. Okay, Iran is the 9th member. Yesterday when we put an MCQ also, one person came and commented, like, what wrong question you are putting, it has only 8 countries. So we could only tell, like, go and Google again one more time. So you have to know current affairs happen like this every time. What you studied, like SAARC members are 8 countries, means luckily that is still now 8 countries, but anything can expand anytime. Okay, this Iran itself, last 15 years they are trying for the membership of SCO, and now only they got it. So like that, anything can happen. But as I told, this is a September current affair, so mostly your question paper will be already set, so maybe it will not come. But like that, anything which happened, you have to know. And maps, every year easy questions are coming, meaning very, very general thing. Okay, maybe it's our Kashmir area, or left side if you see Israel area and that Mediterranean Sea area, or right side if you take the South China Sea area. That is from where map questions usually come, or it will be within India, like India's latitude and longitude, or maybe what is passing through Tropic of Cancer. That kind of basic thing will come for maps. Okay, these are all based on 2020, I am telling. Okay, and it applies to every previous year papers. Subject wise trend also, if you take polity, as I told, was super easy. Modern history was a disappointment. Ancient and medieval as usual, but solved from ICIS test. Economics, all basic terms in use, and it was easy for a serious aspirant. Okay. Geography, as I told, one cyclone question came. Environment, not much summits and climate change came. Okay, so maybe this time it will come, because that, if you see, 2017-18 was tough for that reason also. They asked very, very awkward kind of summits which you may not have prepared, meaning even India is not a member of it, India has not ratified it, or India has never even signed it. That kind of things they used to ask. Okay, climate change is a very important topic, so maybe. Okay, then another thing will be the science and tech and the space question. So very sad thing was, last year, even though many questions of Chandrayaan or something was expected, space tech questions did not come. Okay, not even a single question came. Else they will ask at least defense or rockets or something. So that was a shocker. So this year expect a lot of space questions. Okay, it can be maybe Aditya mission which is coming up, or any international mission, Gaganyaan is coming up. So anything. Okay, then science and tech is UPSC's best friend now, as I told. Science and tech, every year 3-4 questions will come. It will have no logic why they are asking that. Okay, but they will ask it. Okay, and it's things which you observe around you, like as I told, 3G, 4G, 5G, or maybe now the internet protocol of if you see IPv4 is transitioning to IPv6. So about that question can come, or anything like that. Okay, anything which you can imagine, like the mobile towers or the augmented reality, virtual reality, computer, old type of processor, new type of processor, or maybe it can be nanotechnology, some invention has happened, or a GM crop or a biofortified crop, something like that. Okay, these are all in news all the time. So every year if you follow a decent current affair magazine, any institute, you will cover it. Okay, but only thing is whether you will remember it in the exam hall or not. For that you have to revise it again and again. Okay, so trick, as I told, all the above. 90% of the science question answer will be D, meaning 1, 2, 3. Or it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 90%. If it is an application based, especially because they will ask like, what is the application of GPS technology? What are the following are application of 3D printing? Anything, because these are all futuristic technologies. Always it has a scope for everything. Okay, it can be used for multiple things. So 90% it will be like that. But if there is a question, something like a funding pattern is given, or like center alone is funding, state alone funding, like that, if they give for a scheme, then maybe you have to think about it. Else all the time answer is like that. I have showed you multiple questions already. Okay, so map again, do the basic things, you will be able to clear even the 2021 question. Okay, last year one difficult also was there, one easy also was there. Okay, like one is the rivers and glaciers kind of question came in 19 and 20 both. Okay, like rivers where it falls into, like Zambezi falls into Indian Ocean, Volga falls into Caspian Sea, like that. Different Mekong falls into where, Mekong and all, many people were confused whether it falls into our Andaman Sea or falls into the South China Sea. People were confused. Okay, so like that you have to know basic thing. Aksai Chin and all, Kashmir area, if people ask, you will be able to solve, but expect one easy also, one difficult also in the map section. Okay, now how to get that cutoff? Okay, because you know cutoff is now how much it came. It came 92. So suppose it's going back to the old trend of 98. So meaning always target 100. Okay, this is my thing. Now as per the trend, earlier you have to have 120, but now I am telling 100 itself is a decent thing. Okay, also this year number of people going to attempt the exam will be more. Okay, because last year, because the corona just started, everybody were afraid, and I know very serious aspirants, including my students, they told like, sir, I am not going to give the attempt. My parents are telling not to go out. Okay, so 2020, even though they had everything, admit card, everything they had, they applied, they did not go to the exam hall. Now they'll be regretting, because after that, this much time has gone after last prelims. So they'll be now like, anyway, we have to go and give, because already I wasted 1 year. Okay, so 2021, the number of aspirants who's going to attempt will be more than 2020. Okay, so go with that mentality. Now, every year out of 100, 20 will be very difficult question. Okay, like I think 2017 they asked like, world justice report is published by whom? Okay, there was just a mention of that report somewhere in the news, not like very popular one, but they asked it. So such questions, if you have never heard, and options will be like what? Options will be World Bank, WEF, IMF, meaning all the bodies which you know. So if you keep staring at the option, nothing is going to happen. Then why waste your time? Don't waste your time on such questions. Just understand that this I am not going to do. World justice report is not my type of question. I have never heard of it. So just skip it. Like that, 20 unwanted questions you have to skip in the first round of reading itself. Okay, when you take the question paper, or that day morning you take the question paper, and there is no necessary like you have to do 1, 2, 3 and 4, and how much ever I tell you, I always hear like in the exam hall, out of the pressure, people still go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because the first question will be something like polity, some parliament, something, so you will feel like I read Lakshmikant these many times, so how can I not solve it? So you will waste your time 3 minutes, 4 minutes on that. You cannot afford that much minutes on this question paper. Okay, first itself in like 10 second type questions will be there, where like again polity, like preamble, what is the definition, or maybe history, direct history question will be like this war or this battle. When you see the question, you will know this is the correct answer, ABCD type question. Okay, so that are the ones you have to first do in your first round of reading, which will take in just I think 30 minutes. Okay, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. In that you should be able to understand the paper very beautifully. Okay, you should understand like, okay, this many are difficult, this much are easy, and I have got around, okay, maybe 25 questions I could do right in one round of reading. In 30 minutes or 45 minutes I could do 25 questions. Now you have to do the second round of reading. So one thing you have to do in the first round of reading is, okay, first round of reading, what you have to do, in the question paper, last there will be a rough space. Okay, rough space. So there, when you read the question, suppose this is question number 1, okay, and question number 2, like this you are seeing questions. So when you see this, you will see like, okay, A, B, C, D. Here B and C and D is definitely wrong. I got, now this is like 2 options only I'm thinking. Okay, but this I don't want to waste my time now. I'm confused between A and B. So in the rough space, you will go and write question number 1. Okay, then 2 you will see. 2 you will see, okay, oh, this is directly C. Got it. So that is actually ticked. You have done it already. Okay. Now question number 3. When you go to question number 3, again you are like A is B, C, D, and B is wrong, D is wrong, but A and C I am almost sure. Okay. So now 2 options. Wherever 2 options are there, that question number 3rd. So rough space now write 1, 3. So what will happen is now you will have a set of numbers here like this. Okay, 1, 3, then maybe 16, 55, 92. Like this, you have some questions where two options you are doubting. Okay, so this is after first reading. Okay, now the second reading when you take, you have to first go to these questions. Okay, because this is the where you have high chance of scoring, because only one more option you need to eliminate. Then when you do, you will see that your 25 questions now will easily become around 40 or 45. Okay, that means around 90 marks you will be already got, and by that time the time of the exam will be around 1.5 hours would have gone. Now you have 30 more minutes left. Now that 30 minutes is the where everyone, including the one who gets rank 1, rank 2 and all, they are doing their magic. Okay, they are going for such questions. Again, like this World Justice Report and all, they will not go and attempt. They will go and see other questions where one option you could have eliminated. Okay, meaning that also in the first reading you can do if you want. In the rough space when you are doing right, the where you eliminated two options, keep one more box here where you are putting where you eliminate only one option. Meaning you are confused between A, B and C. But D is definitely wrong. So keep two boxes. So this is what you have to go in the second reading, and then third reading you have to go the other box. So when you do all the three reading, you will see like you will easily get a score around 100 plus easily. Okay, if you had done it in a very systematic way. Now I will tell you again the mark wise if you take. Okay, there are some very bright students if you tell, which is like very impossible situation also. Like 60, they will know the best 60 out of the 100. They will do that 120 marks and they don't need to do anything else. Okay, even if you do little more extra, some negative will come. It's not an issue. They will still clear. Okay, now coaching institutes, what they'll tell. As I told, out of this 100, 20 is difficult, but remaining 80 is there, right? So you will go and attempt all the 80. This is what UPSC coaching will tell. Okay, the coaching model will tell do 80. Then what will happen? Suppose you get 50 right and 30 wrong. Okay, 50 right and 30 wrong. Then what will happen? 50, you will get 100 marks, and 30 minus 0.6 you are getting. That net if you take, you are getting 80 and you are not qualified. Okay, if you do 50 right, because you will be very confident like I did 50 right, but 30 wrong is also there. Okay. Another, if you do suppose 60 right, you are a very brilliant student. So 60 right and 20 wrong, then there is a chance that you get 106. So this, how many students can do it? I am sure many people will not be able to do 60 right and all. Okay, because UPSC's difficulty level is increasing. So now another model will tell. Okay, like what we suggest. Attempt 40 right. Okay, 40 as I told in your first or second reading when you complete 40 to 45 you are going to get, meaning your 85 marks you are assured, and you didn't make even one negative till now. Okay, and you have around 30 minutes or 40 minutes left in your exam hall. That time you have to attempt few more. That can be 30 doubtful ones. If you do, what will happen? Always doubtful ones, it's not guaranteed that you will clear it. I mean, it will be correct. So suppose it's 15 right and 15 wrong, net. Okay, so for 15 right, okay, the extra one I'm telling, this 80 marks already you got. So here 30 marks you will get for the 15 right. Okay, plus 2 15 into 2. Now 15 wrong, 15 into 0.66. This if you do, you are getting 20 marks net. So the 80 which you got and the 20 which you got together is 100 marks. Okay, so this is one model. Now again, if you want to score more, means you have to be such student where instead of this 45, you have to make that reading to around 50. In the two readings, you have to try to get 50 correct answers. Okay, so 50 correct answers, if you do 100 marks you will get. And now there are 20 doubtful ones which you have to do, because more right you get, then the doubtful ones count also should go down. Okay, like here I told 40 right means you should attempt 30 doubtful one. But if there are 50 right ones if you feel, then you should go for only 20 doubtful one. Okay, this also right means always it need not be right. Okay, there can be still like you think something and answer will come something else, but still a serious aspirant will have a confidence from inside. Okay, so that 20 also, again 10 will right, 10 will wrong. Okay, these are all just assumptions. Okay, I'm telling different permutation combination to make you understand what will happen on that day. So 10 right means 20 you will get, 10 negative means this much will go away. So 13.4 net plus the 100 which you got, 113. But again, as I told, this 100 may not you will get, you will maybe get only 90. Okay, but still you will get the total. If you see 103 you will get 90 plus 13. Okay, so always expect this. Okay, this mental calculation, you should not do it on the exam day. You should have done it like now. That is why I am doing it for you now. Okay, when we do all this, we have a clear idea what is exactly going to happen on that day. Then that much tension will go away. Okay, you don't have to worry that, okay, if I do this much, what will happen? If I do that much, what will happen? All calculations are already done, and you are going there just with your admit card, your Aadhaar card and your black pen, and you are going and sitting there, and you are just waiting for the question paper. And after getting also, some people have this habit like, first itself they'll take that question paper and then simply waste their 15 minutes going through it. Okay, let me see. Okay, page 1 is like this, page 2, then here Hindi is there, English, Hindi, they have written both languages. Simply you will time pass and you will waste 15 minutes. If you have wasted that first 15 minutes, then forget this year. Okay, you will never even pass. You will have to wait for the next year. Okay, so please, when you get the question paper, directly take it, maximum 1 minute. Okay, 1 minute, glance through all the pages where the printing anything is problem. Okay, all pages are printed properly, all 1 to 100 questions are there. Then you directly start, take your pen, and also OMR sheet is there. Okay, that also separate video I'll make, how to bubble the OMR sheet and all. So OMR is not like, okay, 1 you did, then bubble, then 2 you did, bubble. That will take more time when you do this transition from paper to paper. Instead, you do this. Okay, as I told, first round of reading, which will get complete in maybe 30 minutes or 40 minutes take. Okay, Then after that, because you got maybe 25 or something correct that time, okay, 25, 30 you would have got right. Okay, after reading the all 100 questions one round, I'm telling, okay, maybe 30, then go and bubble that. Okay, this one, then 6, 8, whichever you got, bubble that. So you will have a confidence also that, okay, I got this much, around 60 to 80 marks I've already scored. Now I have to somehow take it to 100. Okay, so after the 40 minutes, the remaining you have how much? Again, 1 hour and 10 minutes you have. Okay, 20 minutes you have. So that time you have to your second reading. So again, after second reading, go and bubble it. Every question, don't go and bubble it. Okay, so this is how the exam day you have to manage. Okay, if I keep talking, it will go on for lengthy time, and then your preparation time will go away. So I hope you have got an idea about how to decide cutoff and what subject to expect. Every subject is important, whether it is polity, whether it is economy, whether it is history, whether it is geography, everything. But the weightage I told you, geography, like core geography is not coming. History, if you see ancient medieval, is not very important. Economic static part is not very important. Polity, other than Lakshmikant, nothing is important. So like that, what is important, revise only that, keep watching the daily videos which you are putting, and you will see that this exam is going to be very, very easy. And one more thing, in case if it is difficult, if it's the last attempt, I understand the pain and all, we understand, like many people are there who give 6 attempt, 9 attempt, 12 attempt based on your category or caste. It will happen, but UPSC is not the end of your life. Okay, there are many other things you have to do, because one thing you will all agree that whoever prepares for UPSC, you will become a very mature person. Okay, you become a very knowledgeable person, a wise person. You stop simply cursing the government, you simply telling like bad politics. You will not engage in the dirty politics chat and all which is happening in Facebook and WhatsApp. This will all go away, because you are mature now. You know how a government works, you know how a bureaucrat works, you know how the schemes fund is allocated, you know what is actual corruption, what is not a corruption. Okay, like even if like people are telling about this religious politics and division and all, you understand the real fact. Okay, you understand who is actually doing good, who is not actually. You have a great knowledge level, and you can pass it on to other people also. You can start teaching people. Okay, because the coaching institutes are offering lakhs and crores of fees for coaching jobs. Okay, if you go and inquire, you will know teaching jobs are like one of the excellent job if you go to big institutes. Okay, so that is one thing. You go and work for others, or you start your own teaching something. It's all, there are thousands of opportunities. Else, if you really want to do social service and money is not your thing, you can start an NGO, you can do social service. Otherwise, you can have a group of friends and go and do something, because many will be having friends already while preparing. You all can start something together. There are many other things to do. Else, there are many other competitive exams also. Okay, go for SSC, go for banking, because UPSC, if you are prepared for 3-4 years very nicely, your knowledge is so vast that you can clear many other exams also. Okay, UPSC, under UPSC also there are many other exams, CAPF exams and other exams, NDA exams. So you can try based on the age limit. Okay, you can go and try. Okay, and till you achieve that, keep attempting. If you have a job, continue and focus on that job, and parallelly study. Okay, because nowadays sitting at home itself you can prepare. Everything is there online. Okay, we are also putting every day 5 lectures. If you go and see 5 lectures on every topic. Okay, so please do whatever I told. Okay, this mentorship is not simply done. This is done because we know what is the experience of exam hall. We know what you will go through. Okay, on that day. So next, the final episode, or the last 9th October, what I'll put is this final tips, in which everything will be there. The do's and don'ts, maybe everything. I'll give you a checklist of what all to carry, including your watch or your timing, your cab, everything I'll tell you. Okay, so that you are relaxed. But on 9th, you have to sleep early. Okay, you should not like 9th also sit overnight and study. Many people lose sleep, and till morning full 12 hours they'll sit and study, and they'll be like in a half sleep they'll go and sit in the exam hall, and then you are 90% going to fail only. So don't do that. So that kind of checklist I will tell a video. Okay, tomorrow is 8th and 9th. These 2 days I will put 2-3 videos like this related to these topics. Hope it will all help you, and I wish you all the best. I want many of you to clear this exam, and if you're not clear also, again come and contact me. We will be still there here only. Okay, we will be on YouTube, we will be on WhatsApp. You can talk to us. We can see what to do, or what went wrong in this attempt, what to do for next year, or what we can help, or anything. Okay, we can work out that. Okay, but now just focus on the next 3 days with a cool head, because you have done a lot of hard work, and you deserve to give a very proper attempt, not a careless or absent-minded attempt. Okay, so I'll come up with the next video. Till then, give your comments, because your comments only let me design the next video for you. Okay, so thank you and have a nice day.